Chapter 1. Opening the door to the supernatural will help you benefit from the realm of infinite possibilities. Our perception of life and our existence is very linear. We believe that we only exist as one self. In truth, we are a myriad of colorful personalities waiting to take the forefront. In our present form, we are just one person, but within is the multitude of possibilities that are yet to be discovered. Our existence goes above and beyond our visible realm. We are but one of the multitude we can exist as. The self is a mystery, but the simplest explanation is that we are non-linear beings living in a multi-dimensional life. We are currently unaware, blissfully ignorant of the power we possess to turn our lives around with something as simple as a flick of the wrist. This turnaround isn't as swift as simply flicking your wrist, however. It takes an intentional action. To access the hidden potential we possess, we must turn on the supernatural and live in the now. Mindfulness is a needed skill in our day-to-day lives. It opens us up to a more present view of reality. This means you must be willing to exist in the present and accept that it is an unending reality. We are able to perceive and understand this reality with the help of our senses. We see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. Our five senses are unable to tap into the supernatural, a realm that requires a higher sense of perception. To experience the supernatural fully, you must heal your body, create new opportunism you haven't imagined before, and open your mind to transcend your center and recondition a new mind. The only way we can change our lives is to change our energy. The human mind is capable of connecting to a higher realm that goes beyond our own physical reality of being. This realm is known how we think and how we feel, a realm of infinite and unending possibilities. We can achieve a quantum leap by exercising our mind's full capabilities. Our ordinary lives are built around a dependency on a prevalent three-dimensional world that limits us to a mere physical existence. This feeling of confinement is known to sometimes aggravate the mental turmoil some individuals face and worsens their sufferings. The benefits of tapping into the spiritual are numerous, providing the individual with endless access to a world of infinite amounts of energy hidden away from our own senses. There are a ton of benefits when you open your mind to the endless possibilities that wait in the quantum realm. All that you desire and want can be made possible by and from the quantum field. It tailors your brain to function at a frequency that isn't just calming, but more efficient. The brain normally gives off rapid, aggressive beta waves, but in the quantum, Chapter 3, the brain gives off much your heart and mind to filter the information you consume. The brain will function more efficiently in the quantum realm, and it is true that most of the fighting is done in our heads. This means that the brain is able to do less, with the effects of a concept on our minds your body a chance to rest or decision. A way to arrive at this calmness is through meditation. It is easy to let our thoughts get to us and affect our moods, altering our internal state to guard against it. But as humans, we tend to overthink, and as such, create scenarios that aren't real and might never happen. It is our nature to worry, be anxious, and create multitudes of excuses to not do what we must. We must instead try to overcome this by quieting our minds. The mind is the brain in action, so your thoughts and actions are a reflection of your brain activity. So if you wish to have a calmer outlook on the very dreary world around you, you must learn to control your mind, tame it, and tailor the thoughts it consumes. The thoughts we let our minds consume can either make us or mar us. The Egyptians believed that the heart held a greater capability for intelligence, and they dubbed it the source of human wisdom. Today, we use terms like emotional intelligence without knowledge of the implication. Emotional intelligence is the ability to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions as one handles interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. To put your mind and the thoughts it produces under control is to be emotionally intelligent. It is imperative that we take full control of our minds and steer them in the right direction. Did you know Becoming Spiritual continues to receive tons of positive reviews, and the lives of many have been changed just by reading and practicing the guidelines in it? Chapter 4. Meditation requires you to be at peace, and as such, if it brings you peace, it is correct. The common denominator in these many key points that will open up our minds to the supernatural and improve our quality of life is meditation. Meditation is the art of quieting one's mind and removing oneself from the present reality. This makes it possible to enter an intangible realm of calm and heightened spiritual awareness that was before inaccessible to us. True control of the mind comes from intentional and disciplined meditation. Something so important has to be done right, so there must be a right and wrong way to meditate. There are a few ways to meditate correctly. You can either do it seated, standing, or walking. Dispenza brings the spotlight on one method, the walking meditation. The right way to do it is to first begin by standing still, closing your eyes and focusing only on the sound of your heart beating whilst breathing slowly from this newfound center. Once you're able to feel the calmness similar to that when you do it seated, you can open your eyes and take a slow but intentional stroll as your mind simply connects to the thoughts you wish to cultivate. There are no wrong ways to meditate. If you find peace doing it whilst you lay down, then go for it. If this isn't your speed and you feel like walking might distract your focus, you can sit instead. There are no wrong ways to do it. The goal is to bring you peace, and as such, if you feel more quietness seated, then stick to it. Chapter 5. The third eye is the reality of perception without the regular senses. The realm outside our physical constraints is inaccessible to our regular five senses of smell, sight, touch, taste, and sound. This is because those senses operate on the physical plane and the quantum realm exists outside it, a whole other dimension. Our reality, as earlier stated, is a three-dimensional one, where we interact with objects based on height, width, and depth. The quantum realm is a whole other dimension outside our reality, and it's inaccessible to the naked eye. But if those senses were all removed, how would we interact? If we were placed in a dimension where our senses were invalid, what then would be our way of coping? This is where the third eye comes into play. The third eye, or the sixth sense as many call it, is our way of perceiving the immaterial plane of existence. The sixth sense is the mind's eye and its mode of perception in the quantum realm. What experts have theorized is the physical form of the third eye or sixth sense is the pineal gland, located in the brain just above the eyes. It is photosensitive and records most visual stimuli we encounter. The gateway to the quantum realm is through this sixth sense. It is what remains when we quiet our minds and turn off our earthly senses. To activate the sixth sense, we must first quiet the other five through meditation. In line with unlocking our brains and installing a new mind into it, it is possible, with meditation and placing greater focus on developing a new way to process and interact with the world around us and beyond, the third eye. Chapter 6. The art of empathy and cohesion is fulfilled when we realize that we all experience life the same way. When we let our minds focus on the gruesome reality around us, the hatred, violence, prejudice, anger, and fear, it is only going to poison it and create the belief that we are distinct and separate from everyone else. You aren't much different from the next person. Show a little empathy. Fear and anxiety makes us selfish and paranoid. They convince us that we are the only ones with such good fortune or bad luck. So we fail to see that we are not alone in the struggles and that everyone fights a battle themselves. We must practice empathy for the next person and not abandon those we might be able to help. When we let ourselves consume these poisonous thoughts and emotions, we become mindless, careless, and greedy, only seeking personal interest above all else. Dispenza believes that this attitude is the bedrock for collapse of societies and even the decay of the planet Earth. People acting in their own interests will ignore the interests of others and inadvertently inconvenience or disenfranchise the next person. A self-serving society will consume and destroy itself in no time. Those that mine off the earth's resources without a plan for renewal will do so until the land is irreparably damaged. Money-hungry corporations and individuals will cheat the next unsuspecting community or individual of their hard-earned income or God-given rights, creating an enmity that will translate into certain death. When a people pursue their own interest solely, it results in clashes, wars, and deaths. We must approach life and people with the simple truth at the back of our minds: it could happen to you. Conclusion: our minds are our greatest ally and enemy all in one. When we encounter certain people, objects, or situations, it is really our mind that does the encountering. Much of what we feel, emotion feedback, is orchestrated by our brain's chemical response to our three-dimensional reality. We are taught to think and believe that we live linear lives, that we exist only in the here and now, but Dispenza revealed that we are a myriad of possible incarnations waiting to be discovered and shine forth. The secret to unlock our quantum selves is through meditation, quieting the mind and breeding emotional intelligence. Once you're able to discipline your mind and the thoughts it consumes, you will be able to create what Dispenza describes as the new mind. This is a shift from the norm, a mindset that is deeply rooted in the belief of infinite possibilities, a calmer mind, and a wiser heart, quick to empathy and thoughtfulness. The quantum realm holds a lot of benefits for us. It helps in finding our center, balance, and it also tailors our thought stream so that negative beta waves are expunged, giving way to calmer alpha waves that foster a healthier working mind. Our mind is our greatest ally and enemy all in one, but with the help of this summary, we can claim control of this mercurial beast and use it to our advantage. Try this. Dedicate ample time daily to meditate and recenter your mind to the quantum realm.
To change your